To
Right.
position to position the foot and put the force into the ground, I have to have ER to get there, IR to produce force. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I have Neuro Coffee in hand and it is perfect. Okay. We got to dig straight into today's Q&A. This was with Lalo. Lalo works with sprinters. Some of his guys have some pain-related issues, and so he's monitoring them over time, and he's collecting some data on ranges of motion. He's identified some deficits. One of the deficits you're typically going to see with sprinters in general is that they're going to lack hip internal rotation. The question mark is how much of that do we need to give them back to protect them, allowing them to produce force? Because we're always going to use ER to position ourselves. We're going to use IR for force production. And so we talked a little bit about KPIs. Lalo's using a vertical jump actually to help monitor some of these things. And we talked about how we can integrate that. So this call covered a lot of ground in regards to ER for position, IR for force production, key performance indicators, and then how to monitor over time. So again, probably useful for a lot of you people that work with people that have to run really, really fast. If you would like to participate in a 15-minute consultation, please go to askbillhartman@gmail.com, askbillhartman@gmail.com. Put 15-minute consultation in the subject line so I don't delete it. We will arrange that at our mutual convenience. Everybody have an outstanding Tuesday, and I'll see you later.
Is it normal for elite runners and sprinters to have barely any adduction? I mean, they'll have it because of the anterior tilt. If I bring their knees up, they'll have it at a certain degree. But
what? Okay, where are you measuring it? What do you mean?
so I'll lay them down on the table. I'll lay them on their side. I will bring their knees to 90 degrees. I will pull back the knee, but I don't want to pull back enough to where the nominus starts to roll. So,
right, so you can't bring it back all the way?
Right, I can't bring it back all the way. So I'm not, because I already know I'm not going to have that hip extension. It's normal that they don't because of the anterior tilt. But at that certain point, if I start to bring down to test adduction, their knees going to go forward.
Right. If you don't have the internal rotation to capture the position, then you don't have, again, that's why it's not adduction, it's internal rotation.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
so they won't have like a high level sprinter won't have what would be average normal hip rotations.
Right.
Average
so
people don't run fast. Ever.
Yeah. So they're anything slower than them is pedestrian speed. So for me, has been trying to understand, because every day Gen Pop and them have been very different, and having to switch the brain and the way to do it, and the training model has been different. So I'm just trying to capture a good. I mean, I look at the adductor as an accelerator for them. Does that make sense?
Well, okay.
Not just that as one part.
Hang on.
Right?
Let me try to explain this.
Yeah.
You're applying force into the ground. Okay. To position the foot and put the force into the ground, I have to have ER to get there, IR to produce force. If I don't have both available, the ground contact is either not going to produce a lot of force, and I got too much ER, hamstring strain, okay? Right? Or I get too much IR, right? Heel pain, big toe pain, medial knee pain, hip impingement, low back pain, right? It's compensatory IR, right? So here's how much IR you need. Don't tell anybody. You need enough. Sorry. Most of the best sprinters that I've measured, and I measured one like totally world-class dude, about 15 degrees of hip IR was really good for him. And that's not a lot under average circumstances, but that's how he did it, right? So again, it's like I don't know what to tell you for the exact measure. I think what the way you're measuring it and your approach is correct, right? But how much you need, I wish there was a measure for it.
Right? Yeah, what I'm trying to do is trying to find exercise selection that will help me, work on their acceleration. So I've been doing the ipsilateral, step ups and making sure they drive forces into the ground and working on tendon stiffness. Yeah. But I was thinking, am I gonna miss something adductor wise? So basically, like, contralateral. I just don't want to put them too much in that contralateral. So I'm probably too much in my own head.
Hang on. What would be a really good self-test for them to identify whether they're capturing the internal rotation superimposed on the ER as the hip is as their body's passing over the foot and the hip would move back into the IR representation into the ground? There's an exercise.
What would be a good test?
Yeah.
I'm blank out. I don't know.
Okay. So think about the leg position underneath them. So they have one foot on the ground, the other leg is swinging through.
Okay. Cross connect.
Okay, so a cross connect is a great representation of that, but again, you need a self test for them. A cross connect's really hard for you to kind of tell what you got going on. If you put them in a hook line position and go to single leg support, can they hang on to the medial foot contact as they try to push through the ground? Right? The people that get the little hamstring cramps when they're in that single leg hook line, that's too much ER, not enough IR.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it. Okay.
So if they can do like a single leg bridge from hook line and not cramp, they have IR superimposed on ER. How much do they need? I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's just something that you track as the boss, right? You say, I need to get you 5 more degrees, or you go, we're okay for now.
Yeah, my KPI has been, is your Achilles not hurting as much? Is your lower back not hurting as much? Like, that's because there's so many of them at the same time. And the time that I have is a constraint. So it's more like, are the pains going away a little bit? And, we talked about, are you jumping as high as before? So I'll take video of how high they'll be jumping and all that. But that has been the only 2 KPIs to make it simple,
Okay, so think about this for a second, Lalo. So you're using a vertical jump?
Yeah, I'm using a vertical jump, and
okay.
then
Hang on. Okay, so what's the advantage of the vertical jump in this situation, and then monitoring those symptoms that you described? Why would vertical jump go down, and then Achilles and lower back symptoms increase at the same time?
I don't know how it would correlate to the pain, but it will go down if they don't have the ability to produce force. So IR will be
in what direction?
Lost.
In what direction? In what direction?
Up or into the ground?
Well, it's straight down to the ground, so they go up, right? Okay. So if I'm a high level sprinter, what direction is the force that I apply to the ground to the greatest degree?
Maximal. Down.
It's straight down, right?
Straight down
into the ground. Okay. If my vertical jump goes down and my symptoms that are associated with a late propulsive strategy go up, increase, that means that as they're pushing up off the ground, they're going forward.
Right.
Okay. So if you want an improved downward force, I think that using your vertical jump and then monitoring those symptoms and then the hip IR are probably going to give you a series of KPIs to track and see how they change.
Yeah.